born in the Air Force Base out there toward the world with his military parents. And now trying to work his way towards a world title. Would you believe? 500 fighter. Would you believe it, Sean?
I do. Only in the world of boxing. You see what he says to Eric Holland. He says, I need a tough fight to help define me. And he certainly has that. James Hughes is tough. Durable, but it's a different level. You see what...
If he had followed through and taken Hughes out in the second round, that would have defined him.
Yeah,
that really would have. Seven straight, getting over that 500 mark, and here's a guy who Maurice Blocker and Vincent Petway, Buddy McGirt could not put down. Eric Holland, junior middleweight, 153 for this fight. Hughes weighed in at 151, but he insists he's a natural welterweight, and he just could not get enough welterweight fights, and has kind of come up to the junior middleweight division, but feels he's fighting over his weight.
And he is really looking arm weary now. James Hughes is. Gloves get heavy.
Al Albert, along with the champ from the legendary Blue Horizon. Incredible. I do see 2 empty seats up there. That's the first time I have seen empty seats. No shows here in years.
Oh, is that you? And when we go off the air, that's where we sit.
Yeah, we snuck down here at ringside.
Not a bad seat in this place. Not a bad seat in the house, except there's 2 stools that aren't very comfortable.
Either that or a seat on the canvas.
Yeah, right.
Well, you remember what Eric Holland said before this fight, how he was going to fight James Hughes? He is completely stuck to that, and remember, this is what he said.
Since he's taller than I am, which mostly everybody is, stay close, you know, apply pressure early, you know, and you know, he likes to throw the long right hand, so I'll try to stay in close and nullify that, and basically just stay in tight circle around him and see what he has.
Oh yeah, he has definitely done that. You know, that is it about boxing too. There was a way to beat everybody in boxing. The real strategists take and they figure out the styles. They learn as much as they can about their opponents, and they go in there with the intent of, even if it takes 10 rounds, I'm going to pick my opponent apart systematically.
Yeah. Eric Holland following that fight plan. Now he gets a warning for the low blow. Although, you know what? I think that's Eric Holland's fight plan every fight. I mean, that's he just grinds it inside.
And you know, when you go to changing a style like James Hughes is trying to do in this fight, it really throws you off. When you train every day and you think to yourself, I'm going to train as a boxer because I'm going to box Eric Holland because he doesn't hit very hard, but if I move away from him, he'll walk right into everything. Then you have to change during the fight. It makes you tired. It physically wears you out because you've not trained for that type of fighter, for that type of style. So that's why he's not changing.
But remember, this is where James Hughes starts to turn it up. He says he knows Holland comes forward. I'll kind of step around and I'll try to back him up. Well, backing up Eric Holland is a pretty difficult task, and James Hughes has not found the key so far in the first 6 rounds. But James Hughes does not appear as fresh as we have seen him in the past. And he still has 4 rounds to work with.
And going into this fight now, we both talked today. We looked at this fight and we said, here is a really good match. But I think Eric Holland has just controlled the fight from the first round. Well, from the second round when he almost knocked down James Hughes, he has taken control and he's kept it.
The Blue Horizon. And trying to move into a new horizon is Eric Holland. A win tonight, and he will be for the first time in his pro career over the 500 mark. And right now, if you had to pick out who's the 500 fighter and who's the 19-7 fighter, who would you say? James Hughes has to get going. He has not won over the crowd as we thought he might. And he has to get a little more wild and reckless. The James Hughes we've come to know and love.
Yeah, 15 KOs and 19 wins. James Hughes has good power. But as he is changing his style too, now he's using that power moving backwards. It is extremely difficult to knock somebody out when you move backwards. I've seen some people do it, but it is more difficult to do than to move forward and knock them out.
But he's painting himself in the corner because now he's into the 7th round. And he's going up against a guy who just does not go down either in Eric Holland. There's Holland right on top of him. Whichever way Hughes goes, Holland is there.
Pressure.
The magnet, Eric Holland.
When asked to describe his style, he said pressure. I get into the inside, and I punch.
And there he is inside and not allowing Hughes to get the extension. Hughes looking to throw on the move.
Trying to wind up with a sucker punch, but Holland's too smart for that. Holland's doing this too long for that.
Hughes generally gets stronger as the fight progresses, but Eric Holland has never shown us to wear down as the fight goes on. Hughes right now antagonizing the crowd with his walk-away tactics, but he's now into trying some different things. He's opened up a cut under the left eye of Holland and goes for it. Remember when he fought Buddy McGirt? McGirt was coming off the shoulder injury. Hughes went into the fight, says, he'll go right for the shoulder. Anything to win to James Hughes. Anything fair game once he steps in the ring.
Well, everybody does that.
And we'll pause for these words from your local cable systems. But he did it with just a smile.
To McDonald. On the inside, pounding away as he said he would, trying to send James Hughes down to the Holland tunnel. A lot of pressure. When you have a fighter like Hughes that's taller than you are, put that pressure on, get underneath them too, underneath their punches. They cannot get down as low as you, and you never should let an adversary get beneath you in boxing, unless he's down.
And Hughes also having difficulty getting Holland off of him. The chunky Holland is very hard to move, but he again is cut, and you see Hughes is going for the cut under the left eye of Holland. Hughes has to come up with something very dramatic.
And a little bit of swelling over there around that left eye.
Hughes has always felt that his best defense is a good offense. Really jumps on his opponent, but the tactic has somewhat changed here tonight. He's changed it himself going in, and Eric Holland also has had something to do with that. The right by Holland scores.
Now trying to measure Holland. Every time that James Hughes starts to throw these punches like he's doing here, watch what Holland does. He goes downstairs to the body. You got to slow these punches down. Take the sting out of him. Take that snap out. Downstairs to the body goes Holland. And then wisely comes to the head. You go downstairs to the body, try to drag your opponent's hands down to protect his body, not realizing that his face is exposed.
We looked for this one to go the distance as an action-packed fight, although Eric Holland nearly ended this in the second round.
Yeah, we were wondering about that in the second round. Buckled the knees of James Hughes and buckled the shoes of James Hughes.
Again, Holland not giving up any ground. Hughes is trying to push him.
Yeah, Eric is trying to make Hughes work. He's trying to make him tired. If you get on your opponent, you make him punch, it wears him out, it makes him tired. And then Hughes let Hughes punch, and Holland tries to come right back. But now Holland's got to be concerned about that left eye. Swelling and cut underneath that.
Al Albert and the champ ringside at the Blue Horizon. In the white trunks is Eric Holland, the best 500 fighter in the world at 15-15-3, looking for 7th straight win. It's been a long climb up the mountain for Eric Holland, and now he is trying to make something of his boxing career. 19-7, James Hughes is in the black trunks, but right now James Hughes needs something to happen in the last couple of rounds in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, and they know it in his corner. Wally Dinkins, Mike Skorosku saying to Hughes, let it fly, let it go, let's go home early.